Back in the subcontinent, today was a big political test for the Rajapaksas in Sri Lanka. The parliament had a secret vote. Why? To elect the new deputy speaker. It was a golden opportunity for the opposition. All that anger on the streets, all the protests, this was the chance to channel all of that, to deal a big blow to the Rajapaksas. But guess what happened? The opposition failed. Two candidates were in the fray. One, Ranjit CM Balapitiya. He was the incumbent deputy speaker. But yesterday he claimed to have resigned. The second candidate was Imtiaz Bakir. He was nominated by the opposition. Now, before the vote, the ruling party made an announcement. They said they would support the incumbent. In other words, this secret vote would be a direct face-off. The Rajapaksas on one side, the opposition on the other. Take a look at the results now. 148 votes for the ruling coalition's candidate, 65 for the opposition, 3 invalid votes. And remember, this was a secret vote, so lawmakers could have voted across party lines. But the Rajapaksas managed to keep their flock intact. What does this result mean? A, the Rajapaksas remain strong, not among the people, but among the lawmakers certainly. Call it leverage, call it blind loyalty. The fact is, Sri Lanka's MPs are not budging. And B, more hardships for the people of Sri Lanka, because the Rajapaksas are only focused on one thing, and that is staying in power. The economy, the protests, all of that is secondary for them. Their finance minister, in fact, embodies this attitude, Ali Sabri. He simply doesn't want the job he has. He's unhappy, he's clueless. But he's been forced to carry on. Listen to his remarks in Parliament. This is what the Sri Lankan finance minister said. I'm doing the night watchman's job as the finance minister. I'm not an expert in this field. This is the finance minister. If there's anyone who's more suited for this role in the opposition, come and take this post. Just a reminder, Sri Lanka is facing its worst financial crisis since independence, the worst ever. Foreign reserves are below $50 million. And the finance minister says that he is not an expert at what he's doing. In fact, his entire speech was riddled with bad news. Let me read out another statement. I have it with me. It says, I don't know if people realize the gravity of the situation. We won't be able to resolve this crisis in 2 years. 2 years. But the actions we take today will determine how much longer this problem will drag. And that is the best case scenario. Without fresh ideas, it could be longer, which brings us to the important question, where will these fresh ideas come from? The opposition says the government must resign first. Only a new leadership can solve the crisis. The Rajapaksa says no way. They claim their parliamentary majority is intact. Pretty soon that claim will be put to test. The opposition, as we told you, has filed 2 no-confidence motions with the Speaker. One is against the President, the other is against the Prime Minister and his cabinet. They want all of them dismissed. When will this vote take place? In Sri Lanka, any motion requires 7 days' notice. After that, there will be a debate and then there will be a vote. Until now, the opposition was confident. The Rajapaksas were divided, their lawmakers were rebelling, but today's vote changes all of that. Clearly, the ruling clan remains popular in Parliament. On the streets, they have no chance, but in Parliament, they do. So Sri Lankans are stepping up the public pressure. More strikes, more demonstrations. In the latest, 2 powerful groups have joined the movement. Tanker operators and private bus operators. Now, both sectors are vital to any country. In Sri Lanka, they could make or break the economy. And these numbers will tell you why. Petrol prices are up 90%. Diesel prices are up 138%. When fuel prices rise, everything rises. So the finance minister's warning is justified. It will take at least 2 years to fix this mess in Sri Lanka. It will also take a lot of outside help. The World Bank is looking to release $400 million to help Sri Lanka. That could ease the immediate troubles, like buying fuel or food. But a larger bailout will be needed, and that's where the IMF comes in, the International Monetary Fund. Within 2 weeks, Sri Lanka will appoint advisors to deal with the IMF, both financial and legal advisors. To receive a bailout, Sri Lanka must restructure its debt. And that includes the debt from China, the loans from China. Talks are underway with Beijing, but reports say China wants to refinance the debt, not restructure it. What's the difference? In restructuring, you change the terms of an existing loan. In refinancing, you issue a new loan to repay the old ones. Now, normally both things have the same effect, but with China, you never know. India too plays an important role in the talks. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman of India reached out to the IMF chief. Colombo was all praises for India's role. But in the end, Sri Lanka must decide its own future. They need reforms, they need fresh ideas, but the question is, who must implement those ideas? The family that landed them in this mess? Or new and energetic leaders eager to serve? Well, that's for Sri Lankans to decide. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.